Hi, I'm John. I'm here to talk about staff support and staff support by way of employment assistance programs. Um, it's obvious when working in human services that our staff are going to be the face of the business that we deliver. And importantly, we need to remember that for people working in human services, um, it can be a very difficult area supporting people who are vulnerable, supporting people who've got chronic illnesses, chronic mental health issues, and other situations impacting upon them. I guess it's necessary to think about how we go about supporting staff, particularly in a time when there's competing demands. Compassion fatigue can sometimes be a problem, workplace stress, um, and employees taking work problems home. In my experience, in supporting people through EAP and through counselling over the years, it's not been unusual to see situations where employees struggle with some of the more difficult situations they experience by virtue of working in human services. And also it's important to realise that there are probably things happening that some staff won't be comfortable talking with their employers about. Some of the things that can impact upon employees are things like workplace stress, changes, family issues, financial pressures. They're real concerns for people in these days. Relationship challenges, grief and loss, the impact of sudden and unanticipated changes in somebody's life can quickly render them quite vulnerable. General burnout, working with vulnerable people and people who aren't well, often does impact very heavily on support workers. And I guess we've got to really consider, how do we support those support workers to continue to provide the face-to-face service, the face of your business, at times when they may be also impacted by things going on in their lives. Employee assistance programs will cater for the employee, a family member, or somebody that is close, or someone that our employees love and are connected with. It's a free service. Primarily what it does is we want to support those staff who are delivering the frontline services. Many of your staff may be silently struggling long before anybody notices, and some of those costs are considerable when we have staff who are valued workplace members and valued staff. When we're faced with situations where staff leave because they may not be able to cope, or they feel that they can't continue to work in this challenging environment, we've got things like recruitment costs, we've got training costs, we've got lost productivity, loss of organisational knowledge, particularly with smaller providers in smaller areas, and just a general impact on team morale. Look, if you can help, if an employer can help somebody avoid months of stress leave, prevent one resignation, help one manager navigate a difficult situation more effectively, the program pays for itself. And remember that some conversations, particularly concerning personal and difficult, sensitive matters, your staff may not be able to come to the table and feel as though they can talk with you about that, because you have a range of discussions with staff, and they're around service delivery. But when it comes to situations or issues, particularly sensitive personal issues, which should be dealt with confidentiality and professionally, sometimes there may be a reluctance with some staff due to the fact that they don't wish for you to see them failing or not doing well. And unfortunately, there's still a belief out there that the fact that people struggle means that that's necessarily a weakness or a sign that they're not doing their job, and nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, when we see people who become impacted, affected during the course of their work, that can be a sign that perhaps they're investing a little bit too much, and could benefit from a chat with an EAP counsellor, free, discreet, confidentiality. And importantly, they know that it's not a metrics or reporting mechanism that goes back to management. I think a strong EAP sends a message to staff that you're valued, that we're here for you, not just in the good times. But that we understand that you don't come to work to get injured, and you have a reasonable expectation to be supported in the workplace. And really, the cost of supporting staff is almost less than the cost of replacing them. Thank you.